Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. This week I'm in the kitchen again. I was in the kitchen a couple of weeks ago, but this week I want to share with you a little bit about how I meal prep. I used to meal prep in the Chinese containers, pop them in the fridge for the entire week. I don't do that anymore. I much prefer this method. That way I'm eating something different every night, I'm eating with the family, and I'm still hitting my calorie and my macro targets, my nutrient targets that I personally want to hit every day. So what I personally do is I prepare my vegetables for the week, and I also prepare a couple of different carbohydrate options. So every lunch and dinner, I personally want to have a protein. Being your chicken, steak, fish, whatever, eggs, whatever it is that you prefer. I want to have a carbohydrate in lunch and dinner, and for me that would look like rice, sweet potato wraps as well is on our menu, sourdough bread. There are obviously more, but they're my go-to, and I also want to have vegetables. So for me personally, I like to make sure that I'm hitting my fiber intake every day. So for me to be able to do that, I know that I need to consume about 600 grams of vegetables per day. I'm a person that really enjoys a high volume of food, so 300 grams of vegetables per lunch and per dinner for me works absolutely perfectly. So what I do is I'll work out how many days I want to prepare my vegetables for. So in this case, this week it's 4 days. And then I'll chop up my vegetables and then cook them in one batch, okay? So to give you an idea, I usually pick 3 or 4 vegetables. They're usually the same every week because they're my favorite and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. And they're super easy to prepare, and they taste really good roasted, which is an easier step again for me. So this week we've got red onion and zucchini, and we've got pumpkin. Now, I usually include broccolini, like I just mentioned before, in here as well, because, often I'll eat stir fries, and broccolini is quite good in stir fries as well. Now, what I do with the vegetables is, I know I need to eat 600 grams of vegetables a day. I'm preparing for 4 days. That's 1.8 kilos of veggies. I'm going to roast them. Super easy. Throw it on a pan, put it in the oven, and it is really, really versatile. And when I say versatile, this week I'm going to have burgers. So I'll have an open burger. I'll make the burger mince patty myself. Open burger with roast vegetables, tomato chutney. I'll probably sprinkle some feta cheese over the top as well. And I'll choose the carbohydrate to go with that, whether that be wraps is really lovely, sweet potato chips maybe on the side. You could even have a burger bun if you wanted. But, I like to opt for those other things that, particularly sweet potato, that's going to keep me full, and it does contain a lot of nutritional value as well. Something else that we're going to have this week is steak and roast vegetables, but you could also have steak with your vegetables, and then obviously, like I mentioned before, I want to have a carbohydrate, and I do want to have a fat in there as well. I might add some sweet potato chips on the side, or I might add some rice if I feel like rice. And my fats would be avocado. All the time I've got avocado on hand, I've got butter, grass-fed butter on hand, and I've also got extra virgin olive oil and nuts. They're my 4 choices of nuts. We are having wraps this week as well, so what I'll have is some chicken breast with my 300 grams of vegetables, which often doesn't fit on the wrap, and then I'll put some pesto on there as well. So, if I've got enough fats left over for the day, I'll add in some avocado as well. So basically, I've got 4 different meals that have got roast vegetables, which you're only cooking it once. I can grab my veggies out that I need and then spread it over the entire week. Okay, so just to share with you how I work it out, I've got 1.8 kilos of vegetables. Once I cook them, it's not going to weigh 1.8 kilos anymore. Instead of segregating it into different containers, they'll all fit in this container. All I do is just bring it out of the oven, weigh it once it is completely cooked, And then I know that I've made 8 servings of vegetables, so I'll just write on there that each serving is worth, it may be 200 grams. So every day I know that I just need to get out 200 grams of my vegetables to put with whatever else I'm having. So that's a bit of a rundown on how my veggies work. Like I mentioned, and I keep saying it, the word versatile, it is, you know, we've got burgers, what did I say, steak and roast veggies. You can even have tacos for the week, and make sure you're getting your veggies in on the side, particularly if you want to make sure that you're hitting those fiber goals and you're getting those nutrients as well. Spaghetti bolognese, like spaghetti bolognese actually tastes good with roast veggies through it, even with your pasta as your carbohydrates. A stir fry, I usually make a stir fry. Now I just want to show you guys, super easy. You grab your veggies, you grab however much chicken that you're planning to have for the day. For me personally, chicken, steak, or mince, I'll always have 100 grams per meal, per lunch and dinner. If I'm having a stir fry, I literally put about a tablespoon of tamari, which is just a healthier version, a gluten-free version of soy sauce that doesn't have as much sodium in it. That I might pop in a little bit of sweet chili sauce and add it on top of my rice, which takes me 5 minutes. My choice of carbohydrates for the week, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes wraps or bread or whatever it might be. We do have wraps today. They're not today. We don't have them. I actually don't have any here today, but that is on the menu this week. But also sweet potato is my other choice of carbohydrates, and then there's rice in this container. So what I'll do is I'll just cut up the sweet potato, because on the day I may feel like sweet potato chips, or I may feel like sweet potato mash. As long as it's cut up, it's not going to take me long to pop them in the oven or steam them and mash them. Say that we're having burgers and I don't feel like bread, I'll opt for that. Or maybe when I get to the day, you know what, I actually feel like bread today, then I'll have bread. And then with the rice, I always pre-cook rice on hand. Once again, I know that I roughly want to eat about 40 grams of rice. That's the volume that I like, raw rice volume. I might cook, say, 3 or 4 batches in advance, and I'll pop it in the fridge. I'll just weigh it out raw, weigh it again cooked, and write on the container with a whiteboard marker that each serving of rice is about 120 grams. So I know that I just get my one container out, scoop out my 120 grams of cooked rice in a container, and then pop it with my vegetables and my choice of protein as well. So yeah, guys, it is a little bit different the way that I prepare these days, but it gives me the flexibility to make my mind up on the day. I'm all about sustainability and about achieving your goals long-term whilst enjoying the process. And I got to a point where, you know, I may have meal prepped chicken and vegetables the same flavor for the entire week, and by the time I got to Friday I didn't feel like it anymore. But also I didn't have the time to cook different meals, so I sacrificed, but I really felt like I was missing out. I found that this was the best way to have things prepped in bulk, know how much it's worth calorie wise and stuff like that, be able to hit my protein targets, my fiber targets and stuff for the day. If you guys are a little bit lost when it comes to calorie counting and how many calories you should be eating, I'm going to pop a link below, because I did do a video, it must have been a couple of months ago now, on how many calories you should be eating so that you can work it out for yourself. So make sure you check that video out as well. I do have loads of videos on my channel about everything from training to nutrition to eating out and all of that kind of jazz. So make sure you guys go check them out. But I really hope that this has helped. It is quite simple. It's not overcomplicated. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for another week of my videos. But until next week, guys, have a great week.